People don't get you, they earn you.
You can't be the strongest, baddest, most confident and successful version of yourself if you're not self-obsessed.
Obsessed with yourself. Self-obsessed and
because it's iconic.
That Teresa?
You are a prize to be earned. What, like the prize in their life? Feminine is submissive.
because I look at a Rolex and I think,
Have you ever saw a creator whose content is so glossy, so perfectly curated, that it's hard to tell where the inspiration ends and obsession begins? Someone whose confidence, lifestyle, and advice make you admire and also question them completely. Tamkaur is that creator. From TikTok to YouTube, from luxury vlogs to self-help advice, her world is carefully crafted, full of designer bags, beauty products, and planned routines. But behind the aesthetics, there is actually a lot to talk about. Her philosophy on self-obsession.
You can't be the strongest, baddest, most confident and successful version of yourself if you're not self-obsessed.
obsessed with yourself.
Because it's iconic.
That Teresa is
Her take on relationship
People don't get you, they earn you.
and lifestyle she promotes. Today we are gonna take a deep, honest look on Tamkaur. The good, the bad, the questionable, and everything in between. This is an exploitation. This is an exploration of what her content actually says and promotes. Hi guys, my name is Nana and today we're gonna talk about Tamkaur, if you didn't understand yet. I've gone through everything I could find, her old vlogs, her main channel, vlog channel, Reddit, Snapchat, highlights on Instagram, everything. Her book also. I was a fan of Tamkaur 2 years ago and I didn't realize how I slowly stopped consuming her content. I didn't think about it until not so long ago when you guys told me that you absolutely love her and I was like, wait. What if she's questionable? Yeah, that's what I do with my life and my free time. Before starting this video, I would like to thank you for your support, comments, whatever. For the fact that we have achieved this in this short amount of time. Thank you guys so much. I'm so grateful. By no means this is a hate video. If you love Tamkaur, keep loving her, do whatever you want. I'm not supposed to tell you that you're wrong, but this video is gonna be a bit more objective than you? No, I'm kidding. This video is gonna be an objective dive in her career and in her content mainly. So yeah, get ready. And without further ado, let's begin. So, Tamkaur. Her content ranges from TikToks about relationships, self-love and confidence, to daily vlogs full of designer bags, cafe workdays, and date nights. Some people find her advice really transformative, while others feel overwhelmed and even judged by the perfection she presents. You may be like, well, they're just jealous of the fact that she's so productive, but no, we are gonna come back to it a bit later. Let's start with her early content. Her old vlogs are surprisingly natural. She wore less makeup, wasn't overly sassy, and just seemed like a relatable person living her life. The editing was simple, the energy was calm, and the routines were realistic. Now let's compare that to her newer content. The material on Tam's main channel is mostly self-help, advice, and sometimes promotion of her own products. I'm sorry if I speak a bit weird now, I just don't know what to do with my throat. And vlogs on her vlog channel. Everything is much more polished and commercial. The editing, the thumbnails, the cuts. It's low-key cinematic and it's not a bad thing, clearly. You're not supposed to stay at this level of content forever. And I'm not saying this is bad, by the way. It's just that her newer content really feels commercial, like a product to sell. And it also kind of shows with the amount of advertising on her videos. Like her back to school video, I found 3 product promotions in one video. The video isn't even that long, so it's not illegal to do that, but in my opinion it gives a bit I have this channel to make money and that's it. Her get ready with me while doing makeup advices are fine and even fun, both on her vlog channel and TikTok as well. I like how she pretends to do her makeup while giving advice, but she still look polished and it's given faking a little bit. It's given faking this bestie vibe, bestie aesthetic and all of that. Has faking ever been good? I don't think so. Also about makeup, faking and being natural, I think I haven't seen her without makeup in her recent vlogs, which makes me a bit sad because her audience is young and she clearly missed the opportunity to normalize some skin imperfections, being yourself and being not polished, you know? But it's clearly not illegal, it's just something I noticed and something that made me a little bit sad. Self-obsession and philosophy. Tam often talks about self-obsession. She literally has self-obsessed journal and the other journal with the word self-obsessed too. We have her 5 laws of self-obsession video.
You can't be the strongest, baddest, most confident and successful version of yourself if you're not self-obsessed. In a world where everyone focuses on keeping you humble, I'm here to teach you how to achieve it. Number 1, the mirror law. Because true self-obsession is centered around perfecting your self-perception. You need to be stepping outside of your comfort zone at least once a week. Immediate discomfort disrupts your old narrative, making way for new beliefs that align with the highest version of yourself. 2, the boundary law. You need to be obsessed about your personal space, time, energy, and investments. So you need to be able to confidently say no without any guilt or lengthy explanations. This just reinforces the belief that you do not have to overexert, prove, or put in effort in order to be worthy of respect and care. 3, the celebration law. Celebrating yourself is crucial, not optional. So I want you to actively document and amplify every single one of your achievements. Don't rob yourself of it in an attempt to be relatable to everyone else. 4, the upgrade law. Work on your self-worth by constantly giving yourself upgrades in your environment, your relationships, your personal standards, rituals, routines, career, everything. Because your external surroundings directly impact your internal sense of value. Not to forget also upgrading your internal monologue and the relationship you have with yourself. And finally, 5, the rewire law. Challenge and reshape your internal narratives to serve your higher self. Because true self-obsession requires breaking societal conditioning that has taught us that self-love equals selfishness. Do your meditative visualizations, intentional journaling, belief rewiring. This starts by first raising your awareness of any limiting beliefs you may be holding about yourself, writing it out and literally finding the evidence in your life to disprove it, and then replacing it with new empowering beliefs that directly oppose the negative belief you once held about yourself. And boom, you're basically a new, self-obsessed, confident baddie.
Okay, this is not that bad, but then we have her own definition of the word self-obsessed.
But the truth is, self-obsession has never been about selfishness. That is not what I preach. It's about self-protection. It's about self-preservation. Prioritizing your own growth and well-being and self-esteem is the only way to reclaim control and happiness in your life. And this is exactly how you do it through my 5 laws of self-obsession.
Let's be clear. Self-obsessed literally means self-obsessed, obsessed with yourself. Not just loving yourself or practicing self-care, genuinely obsessed with yourself. That's what it means. That's the word. And this is where her messaging actually gets tricky. She wants to give new meaning to the word self-obsessed, but that's when she fails because, girl, this word already has its meaning. You can't just change it. She complains about the independent article about her 5 laws of self-obsession. The article is called Why Becoming More Self-Obsessed is the Last Thing the Next Generation Needs. Generally, in my opinion, the article is bad. There are no valid points to prove Tam wrong, actually. But the name of the article is like something I agree with. Let me say it again. Why Becoming More Self-Obsessed is the last thing the next generation needs. I agree with it. We are already in a highly individualistic society where family values, friendship values are turning down with each day. I have seen it with myself personally. I'm glad I realized that there is a problem and maybe I need talking to people and not being alone all the time. Sorry, passive aggressive. Yeah. We are talking about self-obsession in general now, not about her own definition of self-obsession. In my opinion, you can't just take a word and give it new meaning if you're not working in like dictionary presidential club. You got it. Still, there is one statement that actually reflects my opinion, and let me read it from the article.
And finally, the capitalist piece de resistance as encapsulated by the upgrade law. Your external surroundings directly impact your internal sense of value. So work on your self-worth through constantly upgrading your environment. This could include updating personal presentation and reappraising your living space and wardrobe. The new, powerful version of your best self can't possibly be manifested without splurging on fashion, makeup, and homewares.
The main sentence that triggered me in this one.
Because your external surroundings directly impact your internal sense of value.
It gives me the idea that some think that you can actually make your sense of self-worth higher and better with leveling up your environment. Well, even in my previous video, I said that I think that your self-worth is something totally within you. If your environment can influence your self-worth, I think there is a problem because your self-worth is literally about yourself, not something outside of you. This is something I completely disagree with, to be honest. This is given capitalism and overconsumption. We're gonna talk about overconsumption in terms of tamkaur a bit later today. Then the comment under the article says,
it seems like the term self-obsession is completely misconstrued here. The way tamkaur defines it, she explicitly states that it is about loving yourself authentically to the point where you stop comparing yourself to others and stop chasing after superficial, material things merely out of a need for recognition or high status. This leads to being able to show up for people and issues, causes you care about without overextending and exceeding your own capacity. This writer, at best, has never legitimately consumed any of her content, and at worst is one of the poor souls who would benefit greatly from listening to anything she has posted or written.
And this is exactly the problem for me. If you want to promote self-love, just call it self-love. Go promote self-love. Literally, why do you feel the need to take a word with its own definition and change it? Who are you? I'm sorry. It's clear she does it for hype, for attention. It's literally the word that has its own meaning. Why change it? Go promote self-love. But of course, it's not gonna attract so much attention towards her. So in my opinion, that's why she chose to change the literal meaning of the word that already exists. We have her watch this when you're in a slum video, which is generally helpful. It may really help you, but there are some statements that I can't agree with. She frames slums as opportunity for transformation. That is not always the case. Sometimes you just feel bad and that's okay. It doesn't always have to be life-changing shift. You just have to accept that sometimes you feel bad, nothing changes, and then you feel good and you live your life, and it's not a transformational shift, life-changing day. You know, her TikTok is another example. Let's watch it. So in this TikTok, Tams replies to someone's comment that says, "Someone said her videos do not motivate me and inspire me as they used to do anymore. She makes me feel bad and sad with the lifestyle she's promoting on her socials."
So some of you have been saying that my content makes you feel bad and it's not motivational anymore. Most common criticism being that I've changed. I'm not the same as I used to be. But that is absolutely correct, and I have no defense against that, because the goal for me has always been to change and to keep evolving and reaching the goals that I've always set out to achieve. And I've actually been very transparent with you guys on the lifestyle I've wanted, on the person I've always wanted to be. Even as a child, I've never aspired to want to fit in or to be relatable to anyone. As an adult, my growth journey has been a lot about trying to take up more space and being okay with triggering people, whether that be positively or negatively. It's about being confident and self-accepting enough to know that I can stop diluting myself in order to make other people feel comfortable, because that's simply not my priority. So if my lifestyle or my content triggers you, that is absolutely okay, because my content is not catered to the version of you right now. I've always made content for the potential of the people who watch, the version of you that I know you all want to unlock, and that I hope you gain some sort of insight, advice, tips, or inspiration from any part of that. I'm never here to guilt you, I'm just here.
Her content is catered towards the version of you that you all want to unlock. Now, this is, in my opinion, is a passive, aggressive, and very insecure response to not even a hate comment. This is not hate, not even criticism. This is just an opinion, and Tam responded very immaturely. Not everyone wants that version. How do you know that everyone wants that version? Some people just don't agree and just don't like your content. By implying that people who don't care or don't agree or don't like her are somehow broken, not right, failing, she devalues their opinion. She portrays herself as a confident woman, but do you really need to devalue people who reasonably or unreasonably don't like you? It's not even a hate comment after all. Another topic to talk about is the romanticization of your life. I am all for it, don't get me wrong, go for it. But also she promotes this idea of acting like cameras are filming you in every moment, like life is a movie, but in my opinion, it's a bad idea.
You know how everyone's always like, romanticize your life, you're the main character, act like you're in a movie. Yeah, I fear that's not gonna happen for you until you master discipline and consistency. And it doesn't have to be as hard as you think it is. I'll give you guys an example. I have it on my vision board for this year to be a consistent Pilates girl, and I have not done that. I've been going to the gym, but I just have not been feeling Pilates. And the other day, I booked a class in the morning, I woke up, I felt exhausted, I did not want to go. And normally in that situation, I'd be like, fine, go to the gym later, you don't have to go to the class. But I had a mindset shift. And I was like, if there were cameras right now recording me because my life was Gossip Girl or it was a movie, what would my character do? She would get up, she would put the matching set on, she would head out into the city bright and early, do a gorgeous little romanticized walk to...
Can't you just live your life with being responsible towards yourself without a need to be pressured like the cameras are filming you? It's weird to me. Romanticization is nice, but also you don't have to romanticize everything, and also you clearly don't need to act like cameras are around you. You're a real person, not a movie character. You're not playing a role. You're living your life. I heard this idea not only from Tamkaur, and it's a bad one. Relationship and breakups. Her TikToks about relationships can be controversial. She says there are no arguments in her relationship and that all the work should be done on yourself.
Here's everything I've learned about healthy relationships. 1. There are no such thing as arguments, only misunderstandings. We never insult each other or raise our voices. 2. I've stopped believing that a relationship relationship is supposed to be hard work because all the work you should be doing is on yourself.
That's not how relationships work. Relationships take compromise, communication, and sometimes hard and uncomfortable work that is required from both of you as a couple. She actually seems to be in a healthy relationship, seems to be, because I don't know how it actually is, but it's weird to say that there are no arguments and all the work should be done purely on yourself. Sonny, honey, get the f*** out. I need more light, but sun is hidden. But I need more light, it's dark. Also, she often says on her TikTok that breakup is the best thing that can happen to you.
I'm actually on a mission to prove to all of the girlies that breakups are the most positive, life-changing experience that you're ever gonna have. So tell me.
ITGIRL, you know I am that girl. I think that's a bit too much of a statement. It's over-celebrate the breakup, you know? Breakups happen, that may make us glow and grow, but they don't need to be over-celebrated, especially on social media. Her TikTok about confident people not being criticized is also misleading.
You know how people always say, confident people don't judge, confident people will never judge you? Yeah, that's actually true. Because the only reason that people criticize, insult, or bully you is because it is unfathomable for you to be confident about something that they would never give themselves grace for. That's literally the only reason.
Confident people do get criticized, and for a reason. Criticism and hate are two different things, and she seems to understand it, but for some reason she makes fool out of her audience and is saying that like, oh, all the criticism that I get, it's not valid, you know? It's weird to me. In the end of the day, we all need criticism to grow. And I'm not saying hate. No hate. We don't need hate to grow. Hate will not make us grow, but criticism will. Also, her take on plastic surgery is like this.
They have such a high foundation of confidence that it doesn't matter if they skip the gym. It doesn't matter if their body naturally changes as they get older, because they are always going to love themselves.
Which I kind of agree with, honestly, but allegedly she has done lip fillers, allegedly from Reddit. Not proven. It makes me a bit weird about her. Do whatever you want, like with your face, your body, but don't lie about it on social media, please. Now we have her 15 dating rules video, where she calls her man masculine, which is not really controversial, but offers the idea that perfect man should be masculine.
Although romance, flowers, gifts, and extravagant dates aside, this relationship is with a kind, generous, masculine, and chivalrous man.
That's okay. Okay, she implies that her man is a provider man, has a provider mindset, and is the one doing chasing.
But you shouldn't even have the desire to chase, because he should be the one doing all the chasing. In order to earn a girlfriend, he has to put in the work. He has to provide for you. He has to support you.
Some of you guys are gonna judge me, but from my personal life, relationship, I like it. I like her idea on this. Like, objectively, it's a very comfortable position for me when the man is chasing me, when I'm doing nothing first few dates or whatever, and especially when I barely know the person. So I like this idea. It's a comfortable one, but only in like first stages of dating, you know. When I see no interest, no offers, no ideas from a guy, I lose interest. And I don't mean stalking me or running after me or being totally obsessed with me. No, I just mean being a masculine being a caring and supportive guy. That's it. Felt for patriarchy. I'd like to hear your opinions on chasing concept in your personal life. What do you think about it? I'm reading every single comment on my channel, so yeah. Okay, later Tom says,
leads us onto dating rule number 5. You not being obsessed with me is an ick.
While for me it's a total ick when the guy is obsessed with you. If his obsession over you is given crazy, anxious attachment style, which is not healthy. I mean, why she has the idea that woman is her own person with her own life, her own needs, her own desires, and man should be just obsessed with her. I just wouldn't be attracted to a man who is obsessed with me. Like, get a life, go to gym, go get a job, don't be obsessed with me. I'm not an object, I'm a person. You also, guy, you're also supposed to have your life, bro, you know what I mean? Her vlog channel is heavily centered on her life, her boyfriend, her bags, and that's okay. She calls her boyfriend boyf.
Me and boyfriend and I are also friends. I'm gonna do that. Boyf is coming along as boyfriend. It was boyf and I
Owns multiple Chanel bags with the same design but in different colors, countless makeup brushes, and sprays perfume constantly. Now, in general, in positive stuff, I like how she emphasizes long relationship. Getting married after a year or two, I think it's too much, me personally, I think. And she proves my point, so that's why I agree with her here.
When are you getting married? This was also one of the most asked questions ever. What age do you want to get married? What is your mindset on marriage right now? Do you think you would be ready to get married now? And my answer to that is hell no. The thought of getting married in my early 20s terrifies me. It always has. In your 20s, you are growing at such a rapid rate. Let's not forget, you were literally just a teenager. So the gap and the jump between your early 20s being a 23-year-old to being a 28-year-old is huge. You're figuring out who you are. You're figuring out what you like. You're figuring out your career path, how financially stable you're going to be. This is the first stage of your life that you are setting yourself up and figuring out what life path you're going to continue down. All of that growth, right? I feel like I barely recognize who I was last year. I know I'm not going to recognize who I was next year. If I were to get married now, I'm doing myself such a huge disservice to myself and to whoever I marry. I think it's a form of self-sabotage to make life commitments when I'm still figuring out what my life is going to be. That's why I've always liked the idea of doing it in my late 20s. Not to say that you're not going to grow then and you're not going to go throughout your 30s, but that jump of growth then is not as huge and as significant as your 20s, because your 20s, you're laying down the foundations. In your 30s, you know who you are, you know what you like. Even if I got married at like the age of 30 or 31, I'm okay with that. I know for a lot of people, you know what, no, there's not even a biological clock thing, because you can freeze your eggs now and there's so many ways to have babies at a later date. But also, I don't want to have kids, so it's not really an issue for me to get married late. And also, guys, there's so much more to life than being married. Like, I love marriage. I so want to be married. I can't wait for that part of my life. But I have the rest of my life to be married. Let me enjoy just being a girlfriend right now. Let me enjoy my independence, you know?
And let's not forget, when you are 22, 23, you are only 2 or 3 years into your life. You are not 22 years into your life, okay? You've been in education. You probably graduated at 21. Now you're 23 and you're thinking, where is my husband? And I want to have a boyfriend and then I want to get married. Honey, you finished education. You left that whole system. Now this is your first time in the real world, making your own decisions, being away from your parents, having your own independent experience with money. You are literally 2 to 3 years into this. You have so much to learn. You have such a long distance to go, and you are about to tie yourself into a lifelong commitment. You don't even know who you are yet. Unpopular opinion, but I think we've had the wrong idea about honeymoon periods this entire time. Like, I think a relationship gets really good and really fun, and you start to see the signs of whether it's actually gonna last when you're years into it. When people think you get settled and it's boring. Every single day your relationship should get better, because every single day you have more information and more understanding about each other, and you've lived through more experiences together. I used to be someone who was so afraid of the honeymoon period ending or like losing that spark, especially because that's what everybody used to tell me. But if someone asked me now, how do you know if you have the one, I'd truly say, if every day feels better than the last.
Her confidence around random people is very inspiring to me. The editing is cute. Generally, her vlogs are very pleasing to watch. What surprised me though is that she has a stylist I would fire. From negative sides of her vlog channel, we have the obsession with the luxury brands. Romanticization of shopping is also over the top. Shopaholism is a problem. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it right, but it's a real problem. She is promoting overconsumption.
I'm just a shopaholic, I'm just trying to live my life.
She says she's obsessed with shopping, with shopaholism and whatever.
Shopping has been my favorite thing since I was a child. A lot of the times when I didn't even know what I want to do, I'll just go window shopping in London, because it just... And whenever I speak to people who are like, oh, I hate shopping, or I try to avoid it, I'm like, it doesn't compute to me. It just doesn't. It's my favorite activity in the world.
She seems to not get that she may have a real problem with it. It's fine to have money to buy whatever you want. I'm totally for it, go girl, but she seems to not realize the actual problem with shopaholism and her insane amount of shoes, bags, clothing. I don't know. Like, I think that's just not okay. Of course, do what you want with your money, but I think there is a problem with overconsumption and, as she herself said, shopaholism.
I'm just a shopaholic, I'm just trying to live my life.
Then also mini vlogs on her Instagram, TikTok about working out today at cafe. Date nights seem a bit unrealistic to me. TikTok is generally not supposed to show you the real life, the real struggles, so no problem with that, I think. And in the end of the day, If you compare yourself to tamkaur or other girlies on social media, please remember that comparison is the thief of joy. High-value woman concept and feminine energy. Tam often talks about high-value women, and this is where things get tricky. Let's take a look at a specific video. She says you need to be inspired by the fear of being average. This is the first sentence of the video.
No, stop it. You need to be inspired by the fear of being average.
No. I don't agree with it. Please stop demonizing being average and living your life without birkin bags. Half of your audience is doing that, and not everyone hates their average life. And guess what, Tam? You're not better than anyone. I don't get the high with the fear of being average. Go work off your insecurities if you want to be above everyone. And if you are scared to be like the average people, you peasants, you need to live your life without trying to fit in the box of I am not average. Again, she fills people into the boxes of toxic people, average people, toxic people, the majority, and high-value people.
My opinion, there are only toxic people, the majority, and then high-value people.
That is, she is judging and composing people into the sections, which in reality, like, it may exist, the upper class, higher class, you know what I mean? Does it show you as a good person when you split people in sections? No, it doesn't. Then Tam compares being a high-value woman to luxury bags, which just shows that this whole concept is about objectification of women.
When you think about being a high-value woman, I want you to compare it to a luxury handbag. Why does a Chanel classic handbag differ from a very similar handbag that you could pick up at your local shopping center? This bag is harder to obtain, and not everybody has it. It's exclusive. You have to earn it. You have to save up money to be able to purchase this handbag and hold it. When you're walking in the street and you can see a woman carrying a Chanel handbag, what do you think? She's desirable. She's attractive. You're like, wow. Like, I want to be her. I want to have that bag.
No. I think she wants validation that maybe she has money to buy the bag, and then I forget about her and I don't care. Then she proposes that you always need to be in peace as high-value woman.
If you are a high-value woman and you are kind and compassionate and mature, you go about things with reason. You radiate love. You are always at peace with everything. And
let's just say healthy women. I don't think healthy women deny their emotions and try to be at peace all the time when it's not always the case. Then tamkaur implies that high-value woman has to be feminine.
High-value woman habit number 4 is femininity.
So according to this, as I see it, if you're a masculine woman, your value is basically low. She doesn't directly say that, but the point of the whole video is that your value as a woman can be determined by certain traits and actions and your feminine or masculine energy. We are talking about person's value. Tam, you're not the one to decide whose value is low and whose is high. I'm sorry, I'm out of this world now. Like, how do you talk about it to your million audience? I don't get it. She says jealousy is a low value thing that I can't really agree with. Jealousy is an emotion, first of all. It's protective and needs to be worked on therapy or self-confidence, but definitely jealousy shouldn't be just labeled as low value person trait. Of course, if your whole life is jealousy, maybe there is something wrong, but generally sometimes it's really okay to feel jealous. Sometimes, girly, sometimes another person can give you the reason to be jealous. Jealousy, in my opinion, is not something to demonize all the time. She literally has text on screen, low value woman traits. Can we leave women alone, please? Of course, Tam says that manipulation is not a good idea, but she is the one promoting this alter ego concept, being your highest self concept, which I'm all for it. I think it helped me at some point of my life. I know many people don't believe it. I do believe it. But this whole concept, it's about going into the world and faking it, being something that you are not. Well, at least not yet, but still. It's called fake it till you make it for a reason. So yeah, I'm the kind of person that believes in fake it till you make it, your highest self, and maybe even alter ego stuff, but also you don't go out on the internet saying that lying is totally bad and manipulation is totally bad. Guys, it's definitely not a good thing, don't get me wrong, but I'm a person and sometimes I use it in my life. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not an angel, you know. I'm not sorry, I'm not an angel. I'm a demon. What the heck did I just do? And then, girlies, my Nana's Talking Stage family, we have our favorite quote from another influencer. You are a prize to be earned.
You are a prize to be earned. You are a prize to be earned. You are like the prize in their life.
Calling woman a prize to be earned is definitely objectification of women, because think about it. If you're a prize to be earned, a man earns you, and then what? He loses interest according to this concept, and he switches on to another prize to be earned. Do you guys not see the problem with this concept?
Not getting it. It's not clocking to you, is it?
And yeah, Tam says that she is not objectifying. She is not objectifying. That she is not objectifying. Yeah. And yeah, Tam said that she is not objectifying. And yeah, Tam said that she is not objectifying women, but that is definitely what she does. That is so gaslighting of her to say that she is not doing something. Well, this is literally what she does. She literally compares women to Chanel bags. So girl, how is this not objectification if someone's words can be compared to the words of the bag for you? There's one take that I wanted to add because I want to hear your opinions.
50-50 is BS.
I don't have that much experience to say that. Also, I'm young, so my peers, they definitely can't pay for everything, you know? I mean, my potential boyfriends of my age. That's why I'm looking for sugar daddy. Okay, I can agree with Tam's take on 50-50, especially few first dates when you don't know the person. I felt for patriarchy, yes, and I think that guys should pay on first few dates, and especially when we're talking about something like coffee, dinner, just like, bro, you invited me. Make it worthy, at least. But then in other stages on relationships, like when you're paying for rent and you are both young in your 20s, when you're paying for grocery and just for life together, you can't expect your partner to pay for everything. He's still figuring out this life also, and it's very egocentristic to be like, so what, bro? Go work 5 jobs. If you're not paying for me, I'm not living with you. That is my take on it. Again, I don't have that much experience, so I would like to hear your takes. And also, every situation is kind of different for everyone, so it's gonna be an interesting conversation. Well, we are not done with her feminine energy concept. She says feminine woman has to be submissive, and this is what triggered me a lot.
Feminine is submissive. She surrenders control so that she can be taken care of. The masculine is dominant. He takes control. He makes the plans. You know, the feminine is submissive.
It shows that the concept of feminine and masculine energy is very patriarchal, and sometimes women can benefit from it, like men paying on first dates. But in general, it's not something you should live by. She ends the video with reminding women that they are prize to be earned.
You are a prize to be earned.
Yeah, it's fun and nice when a guy does something to get your attention, but your attention may be the price to be earned, not you as a person. If a man sees you as a prize, he sees you as an object. Then we have her book, Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers. Listen, I remember in 2021, I was visiting my friend from school. Hi, Margarita. Hi, I miss you, baby. I haven't seen you in like 3 years because Russia invaded our country and you were forced to leave your homeland. Yeah. So I was in her apartment and I went to their bedroom, and what I saw on the floor is this book called Buy Yourself the Damn Bouquet, but the original name is like Buy Yourself the List. The name somehow stuck in my head for a long time because even at that age I was a bit aware of self-love, and I was like, okay, maybe someday I'll read it. Never read it, but anyway. So when I saw the title of Tam's book, Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers, I was like, What the hell? Why is no one talking about the fact that there is the book with the same name? It's really weird to me. I'm not gonna give plagiarism allegation because I don't want to get sued. There are reviews of her own book on her site, and of course, since they're on her own site, they say, quote, the book helped enormously, gave practical exercises, and took their self-love journey to new heights. Someone even called it a diamond of her great work. But on the site called Goodreads, we have some real, hopeful reviews, and there are a lot of good ones, don't get me wrong, but also there are bad ones, and we are here for some tea. So let's read bad reviews.
Tam is great with her videos and motivational speeches, but this book was not a good idea.
A person who hasn't read more than 2 books that aren't about self-help since their teenhood shouldn't be allowed to write a damn book. But of course, influencers are mostly about making and milking money with mine efforts. I think the people who learn many things through her are better off watching her videos, though.
When are we going to stop taking advice from people who have absolutely no professional experience in the subject matter they are writing about? Seriously, a 24-year-old who had some breakups and low self-esteem is a coach. She has no college courses or training supporting this book, yet feels entitled to teach other women how to love themselves.
I love Tam and her YouTube channel, but honestly, this book isn't written by a writer. It's as if she typed the content of her videos with zero information, examples, or depth. Really disappointing.
So I have never read the book, I just read some bad reviews for you guys, and to be honest, there are a lot of good ones. So if you have read Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers by Tamkaur, please write your thoughts in the comments. I think to young people it may be helpful. I assume there is like basic stuff, and sometimes basic stuff isn't that bad to start your self-love journey or whatever. Overconsumption problem. One of the first things that stood out to me when making this video is Tam's obsession with material possessions and luxury brands. As I promised, we are back to this topic. Her collection of Chanel bags, literally of the same design, just in different colors, is insane alone. In almost every vlog, she's showing off different bags, sometimes few different bags in one video. It's clear that she enjoys being rich and having luxury possessions. It's not bad, but the way it's presented feels like overconsumption and mindless consumption instead of true celebration. It's not just about appreciating a designer item. It's about constantly acquiring more. Her clothing room is equally intense. Multiple rows of makeup brushes, dozens of lipsticks, and racks of clothing fill her space. Whatever you can think about, Tam probably has it. I couldn't stop thinking about what impact does it have on the world, and I know it's so boring to talk about it, well, at least to me. I'm sorry. I'm such a bad person. The impact this kind of consumption has is insane. We all have to understand it, even if we don't like talking about it. Don't get me wrong, having luxury items on wishlist is fine, but the question is, when did the obsession stop? Now, she also bought a Birkin, and she was talking about the fact that she wants a Rolex. From what I see, she wants the things because other rich people have it. She wants it because other high status people have it. She could accept it.
If I got a Rolex, I would literally get one and then I would never really care about getting another fancy watch again. So why did I feel that this was important enough to use the very limited space on my vision board to put a Rolex on there? And it made me realize that I have this thing where if there is something that is only available to a certain amount of people, or something that is luxury and desirable and is kind of marketed as something that the average person can't get and that not everybody can have, I want it. Like, I want it so bad. What do you mean there's this super beautiful watch that somebody my age isn't supposed to have? Like, that's not accessible to somebody like me. And literally the first thought in my head is, okay, bet. Okay, bet. Watch me go get it now. I don't know why my brain works like this.
I don't think she fully realizes her struggle with tying self-worth to material objects. Someone on Reddit said, lol, good for her, but it only goes to show how her advice on changing your self-concept and mindset is really just about acquiring material goods that have no real meaning. Never take advice from life coaches who fixate on luxury items that only serve to boost egos. It's late-stage capitalism and overconsumption at its best. I agree, 1 trillion, billion, 6 9,000,000%. Ballerina cappuccino. Yeah, she talks about not seeking external validation in her videos. In another videos, she said that your internal value can be tied to external objects, and then she wants to buy a Rolex just because not everyone can have it, and she will be considered very successful if she buys it, you know what I mean? It's good you have it, but obsession is too much. Also, Forbes 30 under 30. Did she buy her place, you ask me? It's nice if she got in there by herself, but do I doubt it? Yes. Do I have anything to prove it? No. Do I wanna get sued? No. Do I say she's the liar who bought her place in a Forbes? No, I'm not saying that clearly. Don't get me wrong, we all will end up with our own opinions on this, I think. Another thing worth discussing is Tam's allegations of buying her followers. These allegations are from Reddit. When I saw it the first time, I was like, well, Reddit, okay. But actually, if you think about it, while her following count is extremely high on all the platforms, the level of engagement on her posts tells a different story. Okay, let's go. Her Instagram has 787k followers. Reel has 49 comments, 3,000 likes. That's a good one. Probably has a lot of views. She's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. The outfit is a slay. It's London Fashion Week. Then 30 comments for 700k followers. Y'all. 54 comments, I am sorry. 35 comments and 11,000 likes and 7 reposts for 700k followers. Let's go to her TikTok, 700k followers. The amount of views is generally low. Here we have 31 comments, 3,000 likes. Also YouTube. She has almost 2 million subscribers on her main channel. The amount of views is, let's say, 100k, 200k per video, but honestly, I'm being too sweet here. It's usually lower, sometimes higher, not higher than 200k, you know what I mean? I think it's not like horrible, but could be better. I'm not saying she bought her followers, don't get me wrong, I don't know. The actual real fact is that the level of engagement is really low. It gives me a weird feeling, like faking it a bit. It's just a feeling, guys, I'm not alleging anything, okay? Let's talk about Tam's take on being humble, which I used to hate.
The number one thing that people dislike me for on social media is my hatred for the concept of being humble, and especially the prioritization of it. Because everyone's like, being humble is good behavior. No, good behavior is being kind, considerate, non-judgmental. Those are 3 entirely different words. The literal definition of being humble is to have a low sense of one's own importance, and I'm never going to advocate for that, especially for women. I entirely get the message that you're trying to give me here, but humble is not the word for that. Being humble is literally undermining your own value and your own worth. And the reason I'm so passionate about this is because I did that my entire life. I was quiet, I was humble, I was a people pleaser, I never understood my own worth or importance, and I always played myself down. And guess what? Those years of being like that is exactly when I hated myself and my life the most. It wasn't until I stepped into my power and understood my importance and valued myself so highly that I could finally attract the job, the wealth, the friends, the love of my life that I actually deserved. Because I was able to set high standards and enforce them, set boundaries, actually understand what I bring to the table, and every single woman, no person, deserved to think that way about themselves. And the reason I will always fight so hard about this, and I don't even care how often I'm misunderstood about my take on this, is because as someone who speaks about self-development and self-love on the internet, no one will ever understand the amount of messages, comments, DMs I get from women saying, but how do I know if I'm loving myself too much? How do I love myself without guilt? Women don't even get the chance to work on themselves and pour into themselves and see their value without first having to worry about everybody else's perception on that. Without worrying about the fact that they might be taking up too much space, or they're making other people feel too uncomfortable in them being confident in who they are. I don't think there's any such thing as loving yourself too much, and I don't think there should ever be any concern or worry about how do I love myself but also balance humility with this. No, love yourself and be a kind person. And of course, don't think you're better than anybody else. I'll never advocate for that either. Being humble is literally about undermining yourself, and that is for no one.
I used to perceive being humble like being realistic and grateful, realizing your privilege and remembering where you came from, but in reality, it's not that. According to Cambridge Dictionary, being humble means not proud or not believing that you are important, poor or of low social rank, ordinary, not special or very important. So yeah, being humble is definitely not a good thing. People come up with their own definitions of being humble. So did I, honestly, but being humble is not a good thing. While being grateful is, you know? Before making a verdict, I would like to say that of course in this video we mostly focused on bad sides of tamkaur's content and story, because I am genuinely not making videos about how good someone is. I'm talking about bad sides, and also all the time I mention good sides if there are any. So in terms of tamkaur, actually her videos on her main channel are good. They will definitely help young people. Her back to school, back to university videos can be motivating. Her advices are also good most of the time. Her takes on relationships, feminine energy are definitely problematic for me, but her advice on self-confidence, self-worth, friendship, and even breakups, they can be good. Her content is very pleasant visually. We cannot deny that she achieved a lot in 3 years, I think. She's still a bit out of touch in my opinion, because she mentions being broke some time ago. We have her vlogs, her Instagram from that time, and guys, I think we have different definitions of being broke. This video was posted in the end of 2023. She says she was broke this time last year, and this time last year, in the end of 2022, she's driving a car, she's going out for drinks. A broke person doesn't do that. If you really wanted me to talk about good parts, she posts her content really regularly. She is very confident around random people. Her vlogs can inspire you for something. So what's the verdict on tamkaur? She is a mix of inspiration and over-stylized self-obsession. On one hand, she can motivate confidence and self-growth, but on the other, she often promotes unrealistic lifestyle, objectification of women, and rigid high-value frameworks. You can admire parts of her content that can help you and ignore the parts that make you feel inadequate or pressured. That's it for today's dive into tamkaur. I would like to hear your thoughts. Is she inspiring, overhyped, helpful, or problematic? Let me know in the comments, but don't leave. Not now. I need to mention that you can subscribe, like, comment, and all of that. It will greatly help this channel, but also thank you so much for following me on Instagram. When I see who follows me, I'm like, what? This girl is real. I honestly thought this kind of beauty only exists in TikTok, but you are probably real. I have 2 guys following me. Slay. I'm gonna make more videos in the future, so subscribe to not miss it. I am reading every single comment, so whatever you wanna say it and it will reach me. I'm going through situationship breakup right now. Thanks for watching, and remember, take advice that works for you, leave the rest, and don't compare your life to someone's perfect picture on social media. It was Nana, see you later, bye!